Joe Rogan. This is a touchy subject, and yes, I'm going to take it on, offer my thoughts. But before I begin, I want to share a story to set up where I'm going. Late 2002, early 2003, we're marching toward war, the invasion of Iraq. We know how that war turned out, and we remember the basis for this: weapons of mass destruction. And there was a former UN weapons inspector, a guy named Scott Ritter, who was a captain in the Marine Corps at one point. And he was going on all the television talk shows saying Saddam does not have weapons of mass destruction. And I'll tell you, I was doing the same thing everyone was doing. I was accusing him of literally drinking Saddam Hussein's Kool-Aid. Yeah, he was drinking the Kool-Aid. Even MSNBC accused him of drinking the Kool-Aid. And what happened? We invaded, and Saddam did not have weapons of mass destruction. And I reflect on where we are today, and I wonder how many people would have said, he's spreading misinformation. He's endangering national security with his, misinformation. And we saw touches of that. Bill Maher, right after 9/11, he lost his job. He was on a show called Politically Incorrect, and he said correctly that the hijackers were actually brave. They weren't cowards. What they did, what Al-Qaeda did to execute that, he was basically offering, which I thought was an accurate assessment of our adversary. And I know it's kind of trendy when we face an adversary, we're like, they're just a bunch of cowards, cowards. No, we were fighting a tough adversary, as we saw through 2 decades of war. And I think that's what Bill Maher was trying to highlight. No, we can't just simplify it. These people were courageous. Not saying they're good, they're courageous. A very formidable enemy. And now I take it back to Joe Rogan. I look at these mistakes. We made a lot of mistakes in the foreign policy realm, the war on terror, because we were accusing people of misinformation or, drinking the Kool-Aid there. In fact, I love Kool-Aid. Anyway, we can't silence people, and that's the danger of silencing people, even if we think they are wrong now. And what's interesting is most people who are maybe against Joe Rogan, how many people have actually listened to the podcast in question? I watched it. It's a long podcast, so I haven't gotten through yet. But really, from what I've listened to so far, you've got 2 medical professionals, both with experience with the mRNA vaccines, and they are offering a contrarian opinion. And Joe isn't doing much of the talking at all. It's these doctors. And frankly, we should let them have their say. Because what have we found now? We were told the vaccine, you're safe from COVID. Oh, wait, you're not safe from getting it. Now, I'm vaccinated. I believe in what the COVID vaccine does. But it does not prevent you from getting COVID. It protects you. It keeps you from seriously getting harmed from COVID, but doesn't prevent you from getting it. And likewise, it doesn't prevent you from spreading COVID. Yet we make policies reflecting the fact that somehow the vaccine does prevent you from spreading it. That's a disconnect between policy and reality. The vaccine is still good. I am in favor of the vaccine. So Joe Rogan isn't spreading disinformation here. Also, it's incumbent upon us to be competent citizens. And it's dicey when you say do your own research, but you got to think about it. Like, who are you getting your medical advice from? If you're turning to Joe Rogan for medical advice, you're probably talking to the wrong guy. That doesn't mean you shouldn't listen to him. Doesn't mean he shouldn't have a platform. But I also find it ironic, if you dig in some of the people who are pulling their music from Spotify because of Joe Rogan, they themselves have pushed weird conspiracy theories. Many artists have pulled things like, the Bush administration really has bin Laden in a secret hideout, and they're going to, prop him out right for the 2004 election. Yeah, many of the artists pulling their music believed exactly that. So talk about, teapot meet kettle there. It's a little more complicated. Listen to the podcast, listen to the thing on Joe Rogan. It's pretty fascinating stuff. And no, he should not be deplatformed. You start deplatforming people, it leads to dangerous precedents. We shouted down Scott Ritter, and he was right. And yet we marched off to war. We lost thousands of people. spent billions of dollars. Let's not be so quick to shout somebody down because they disagree with the mainstream thinking. But we should be critical. Obviously, you always stay critical. Those are my thoughts. Enjoy the rest of this delicious beverage. Take care. Let me know your thoughts and have a great day.